Hello, my name is Joe, and I'm with my friend today, and we thought we'd start a podcast.
That's right.
And it's our first episode, but I don't know how to open a podcast. I mean, you just start talking and do what you want.
What do you have for do you have any topics?
I was gonna get straight into the gaming topic because I'm on my PC right now, just chilling. Can't really play a game, but Civ 7.
So
I like that Civ 7 talk we were talking about earlier. That was pretty interesting.
well, what do you think they would do for Civ 7? Because I don't know if you've played a lot of Civ 5, but it's a lot different from Civ 6.
I've
Like the
only
art
played
style and everything.
I've only played 6 and maybe a little bit of 4, or maybe it was Tropico. It was some kind of simulation game like that. I'm not really too much into them, but I've been trying to get into them because my FPS mind is kind of peasanty.
Yeah, I mean, Tropico is pretty similar to like Civ 5, except it's kind of on a smaller scale because you're like a dictator.
Oh, that's what that is? Like something on an
Yeah,
island? That's what I thought it was. Like,
instead of picking like a nation, you're basically just like your own like Cuban nation that you have to take care of and raise up.
do you get to like attack the US or something like Bay of Pigs, like realism, or is that a no-no?
Uh, I haven't gotten that far, but I know you can like have like rebellions and shit and like build up military and shit and be like you can be hardcore on your citizen and force them to work and shit or just like be lenient.
That sounds pretty cool, actually. Like, I've been trying to get into Hearts of Iron 4 because I like the World War II thing, and I would always like to alter it, and I've been trying to get into it, and it's complicated. Like, I think it's like the UI and how it's all laid out is more different than Civ 6 than I'm used to, so that's probably why it's a bit of a learning curve, but
Yeah, I've only played a little bit of Hearts of Iron, like the first one. That's pretty cool. But I like games like Total War where it's like you control like thousands of soldiers at once.
oh, is that one you played at Ronnie's house with the we were playing D&D?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one you command like armies and shit. It's like XCOM, but just like more of a massive scale.
Yeah, games like that are pretty fun, but they get a little out of control when you have to try to flank with like your cavalry and shit.
You become
But it's a lot
God
more
and just
intense.
you become God and just develop something you're not supposed to yet, and the game penalizes you or something like that. That'd be fucked.
Yeah.
Because I know in Hearts of Iron 4 you can start developing atomic weapons and research before 1945. Like the game wants you to start it in 1940, but like the game you can start the game in 39 or 36 depending. Like 36 is where everyone's building up the armies, and then 39 is when the Germans invade Poland and whatnot. But you can start your research before 1940, but the game will penalize you for like engineering or maybe like factories your country needs to fight for and shit like that. I find that pretty interesting how the game would actually let you become God, but it comes at a cost.
Mm, yeah. But it's pretty good, like, because there's a lot of games that don't fucking do that. Like, they'll just make you God, and eventually you get kind of bored of it.
Yeah, but there's mods for Hearts of Iron. Like you could do a World War I, and I've seen one where it's like that Australian
That's pretty sick.
what's it called? It was like right after World War I where Australians like fought some animals. It was like these birds. I forgot what they were called.
Hmm. Wait, which animals?
It's like Australia they had a war with some birds that were eating crops. Oh, the Emu War.
Hmm.
The Emu War, yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about
Yeah, yeah.
that.
They have a mod for that in Hearts of Iron 4, and that blew my mind. I was like, what?
Yeah, the Great Emo War. Emo
Uh,
War. So, what else we got here? I do have an article about Overwatch.
oh, want to play
apparently,
Overwatch.
January Blizzard announced that form of hero bans will be added. Instead of letting players select who to leave out of the match, they'd be sidelined through hero pools. Oh wow! So apparently they're taking out the hero pools that they had in Overwatch.
What's the hero pools? I haven't really played much in Overwatch, but I'd like to get the second one and actually get into the game.
Like they basically Overwatch is doing this thing where every competition season they would like take out heroes. So you for the whole season you couldn't use certain heroes in competitive play, and now they're going back to the old way where they don't do that anymore. 'Cause I guess they don't want to do it. It's not having the results they wanted because they wanted to keep the game fresh. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's
that's
kind
what
of stupid.
that's what Call of Duty's doing. It's like they're doing certain game modes for like a week, and then they filter them and make their own, see what people like. Like they did the shipment 24/7. And I thought that was just retarded. And, like it's all about shoot house.
Yeah, it's similar, but when you play competitive, you kind of want to play as like the character you're good with,
Yeah, I
and
can see
when they
that.
ban that character, you can't really do that.
Well,
That's new.
I remember you told me the other day, which kind of like it kind of blew my mind a little, where people in Tekken they fight on one side and they master that side, and like other people lose, like they lost tournaments just because they were fighting on the other side. Like I'm just that kind of just shocks me a little. It's just like the other side of the screen, but you're using the left button instead of the right button, which is closer to the other buttons.
See, I feel like that's just like honestly just like an excuse. I don't know, but I mean, I can get it because like it does swap the buttons
Yeah, that's
for
what I'm
some
thinking. It's
fighting games,
it's yeah.
but I think like if you've been playing that game long enough, you should just be able to kind of like do deal with it.
Yeah, that's really insane. I'm not much into fighting games either, but that sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, the fighting game scene is very, very like competitive and like hardcore scene. Let me see if there's any like news for any of that. Have you played Street Fighter 5 at all?
5?
Or
I
any
haven't
of the
played.
Street
I've
Fighters?
played basically 2, but they had too many iterations of it. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah.
just,
Five kind of sucks.
5. Jesus, yeah.
It's basically all the characters, like the main characters get their ass whooped by the main like villain. I forgot his name because I don't really play him, but he's like that general guy or whatever.
Oh, General Sam.
No,
Oh.
I forgot what his name is. He's a Street Fighter character.
Oh, I thought we were talking about just like YouTube. Sorry, I zoned out.
Oh, and then let's see. There's the whole fucking Mortal Kombat Aftermath stuff.
Mortal Kombat Aftermath. I saw a bunch of the ads with that friendship stuff. What is that exactly?
They're like fatalities, but like friendly fatalities.
You don't die, they just like hug you to death or some shit.
There's not usually a lot of death in it, but the Joker has a fatality that starts out as a friendship.
Gives you a pie, but it blows up in your face or something. I could see him doing that.
Um, you can purchase the new seasonal items on Animal Crossing right now in the Nook shop. What do you think about that? You play on Animal Crossing, right?
No. Not anymore. At first, I'm just like, what the fuck is he saying? It's all good. I don't really play that much, but my girlfriend, she played it all the time, and then she just stopped for like a month, and I guess like people have stopped too. I guess that game just it had its craze and it's dying down. I mean, I guess there is a huge community out there where that game is vibrant, but in my eyes, I see it's just kind of just dead dudes.
Yeah, I haven't heard like really a whole lot of talk about it.
It's a good game though. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
It just seems a little bit boring.
yeah, like games that are slowed down and relaxing. I mean, I guess I can get into that. It's just that I play games to like escape the real world. The fantasy and trying to do things that I can't do in real life. Mostly FPSs, but
You don't like farming all the time?
I don't like what.
You don't like farming all the time? And taking care of your little villagers?
I'm good, dude. It's too slow. I need to like be in the action. Something that gets my panties in a twist or something like that.
Panties in a twist.
I recently was playing the Max Payne series, and I got to the third game, and it's such a different story because the Max Payne games, they do this film noir in New York City like John Woo gangster thing, and then it drops off into like a Colombian or Brazilian like drug lords and money and corrupt officials, and it just explodes.
Yeah, it changes a shit ton.
Yeah.
I don't know if you tried the multiplayer for 3, but
Oh yeah, that shit's
I used to play
intense.
that. That shit was fucking lit.
That's intense, dude. Like, oh my god. There's actually two game modes. There's like free aim and then locked or whatever, and it's so insane. Like, there's people who can snap on you, and then there's free aim, which is like so much easier.
I used to wear a hazmat suit, and I'd have an RPG and 2 cans of pepper spray, and I'd like slow motion dive in front of people and spray them with pepper spray until they died.
Holy shit.
Or I'd dive off like a ledge and shoot them with an RPG.
That slow motion or that bullet time when you jump off something is so satisfying. Like, even though that game is repetitive, but like diving in slow mo just is so sexy.
Never gets old.
Yeah.
Um,
I wanted to talk about this may be a very controversial topic, but what do you think about drug use in video games? Like the effects of drugs in an in-game character? Like I was thinking of Far Cry 3. The drug sequences?
yeah.
Like it's just so weird how like a character takes a drug and a person who's never taken that drug just watches it and be like, "Is that what it's like to be high?" Like
Yeah, it's there's not really like a way that they can tackle it. Like Saints Row does it like getting high pretty good, like where you're just kind of like the screen's fuzzy or whatever.
yeah. Like in the third game or you talk
But
about
like
2?
too, like when you get, for instance, when you get fucking kidnapped by that Jamaican gang and they like smoke you out and just like leave you in the city.
That's dope. I wish someone did that to me. It's like, here, smoke this. Wait, smoke it. Okay, okay.
You just picked them up and forced them to smoke until he was really high, and then they threatened him and then kicked him out.
I mean, shit, I would have to walk home, but it'd be a trip.
They should be high.
Uh, Speaking of high, I think I'm gonna take a hit of my pen. This is a weed-friendly
Uh,
podcast, by the way. So
what about have you heard of like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines at all? They're
yeah, I
making a second
saw a
one.
trailer for that, and I think they're making a second game for it, or is that some other
Yeah,
franchise? Okay, yeah, I saw that, and I was very intrigued. I didn't know there was a first game, so it must have been very successful.
it's it's like a really dated game, but it's because it came out in like 2004.
Oh, four, damn, it's pretty old.
But yeah, there's like vampires, like a bunch of supernatural stuff, and you get to choose like what kind of vampire you want to be. You can be the Nosferatu vampire,
Ooh,
but they're so ugly that like everybody knows you're a vampire automatically, so you basically have to fight everybody.
it's like a challenge, I
There's more
guess.
like sneak around. Yeah, and
I
there's different like vampire clans and factions and shit.
I thought that game would be kind of like the Darkness, where you had that like Darkness tentacle monster and shit, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I thought that's what
but
that game
no.
would be like a linear, just you're a vampire.
No, it's more like small open world type game where you have like choices and shit.
Ooh, it's like two worlds.
Have you played that game?
Oh no. Oh god. I was watching Pro Jared play it and watch his review. I can't believe that was a game. Like,
I played the Damien's house and fucking like he showed me how to like do the console commands because you can do console commands in even on the console version of the game.
what? That's broken.
And I and I just make myself jump like really really high, and eventually I would jump so high that we actually broke the game.
Well, the developers did not give a shit.
It's funny though. It's worth it.
And then they made a sequel, and then the sequel is slightly less shit.
Yeah,
Like
I don't
companies
know
that
why they
like
kept trying.
companies that always like rush games like that. Their game is dog shit. Like Battlefield 5. I love the Battlefield series, but they just rushed 5. Like if that game would have came out when Modern Warfare came out, that game could have been crispy.
Yeah, they just like they feel like they have to compete against Call of Duty when they're two very different games. It's not really a competition. It's more like some people like to play Call of Duty, some people like to play Battlefield.
Yeah. A lot of the
But
community
like,
I talk to, they like to play both and it's cool.
yeah, like I'll like you can play both because they're two different kinds of games. You know, maybe you're not feeling like doing a long ass Battlefield match. Maybe you want a quick match of Call of Duty real quick, or maybe you want to do like a big ass match with your friends and play some Battlefield for a couple hours.
Yeah, it's just not the same like 3 and 4.
Yeah, but now they're just trying to do weird stuff with it, like making some maps so big that like it takes forever to find people on a Battlefield game. Like Battlefield 5 has some huge maps.
Yeah, they try to make it where like each point like A through F or A through D, each point on Conquest is its own mini battlefield. That's what it feels like. And then like if you die and your squad gets wiped, you have to like run like 200 meters for a good like 5 minutes just to get into another fight, and it's like, come on. But if there's medics everywhere, you can just keep getting right up because you can get revived instantaneously, and then if your squad mates are by, you can revive them, but it doesn't take it as long.
Yeah, I miss like when it was specifically like the medic who could only revive.
Yeah, I was playing 4 the other day, and I was having a good time, but 4 is a little harder. Like, because I've been playing 5 and 1. 4 is a little bit more difficult, but like, it's fun though, it's rewarding.
Yeah, I love 4. And the maps, like the DLC maps, had a lot of variety to them.
Oh yeah, the China Rising DLC I was playing yesterday. That thing was popping.
Yeah, that DLC is pretty fucking crazy. I like the one where it's like a bunch of islands too, like the boat one. I think
Yeah.
it has the Wake Island remastered too.
Yeah, Wake Island's fucking awesome, dude. I
They like
just
remaster in every Battlefield game.
They did it in 5 too. They actually had like a World War II Wake Island, and it's pretty good. You can use a tank, and you can like literally go across the map. Like the islands are shaped in like a crescent moon, so you can just drive back and forth. But you can get strafed bombed by planes, and the vehicles in that
Yeah,
game are pretty refined. I'm not gonna lie, because being in a tank or in a helicopter in 4 or jet, I just couldn't do it. It was too fast, and like the controls were not for me. But in 5, it felt like they refined it to someone like a simpleton like me could do it.
well, there's no helicopters in but
Well, I mean, there's planes, but they're fast. They're like
yeah,
propeller fast. Yeah,
they're not as fast as the jets though.
yeah. The jets can go 0 to 100 real quick.
I was never really good with the jets, but I've always been good with flying helicopters. It's the most fun.
I like taking them out with like RPGs and shit. That thing is like literally you could sneak up right behind them while they're attacking and just pop them out of the sky.
Yeah, I gotten pretty good at dodging with those things.
People can dodge really good in fucking what's it called in jets or in planes in Battlefield 5 too. Like I try to use the Panzerfaust and like shoot directly in the sky and a plane will literally swerve as soon as it's about to hit them. I've taken out one person with the Panzerfaust in that game and it's so rewarding.
I've had times where I would fly jets like straight into the ground, and one time it bounced up, and I ran somebody over when it hit the ground, but it bounced up and launched me up, and I was still flying like normally again. I was like,
That's pretty
okay.
cool. Get strapped C4 to a ATV, and you know that one map in BF4 where it was like kind of like a satellite dish, and you can drive up it like a ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're pretty good at it, you can get some good air, and if there's a chopper in the air, you could just like C4 it and get like a triple kill, and the people in the chopper will scream and shit like back in the Xbox 360 days, dude. Oh, those good times.
I uh I remember one time I was sniping on Battlefield 3, and it was just like the luckiest time ever. Like I like zoomed into a tank and I saw that there was C4 on it. Like their teammate put C4 on it, so I just shot the C4 and blew up the tank.
That's fucking cool, dude. It's just they thought you were
It was
hacking or
one of those
something.
games where we were like fucking them. Like we had them basically pushed into their spawn the whole time. Ah, ah, ah.
Well, so
I'm back.
all right. That's why you gotta get a PC. You know that you can what's it fucking called? Noise suppression that Discord has.
Well, it's hard to noise suppress when somebody walks up to you.
Oh, true. They
So
knock on your head.
I
Hey,
just can mute
hey!
it. Oh shit!
LSD. What a trip.
There's a new. I think there's a new Paper Mario coming out.
What?
Paper Mario: The Origami King.
Good one, cause the last ones were they were shite.
And it comes out July 17th.
For the Switch, right?
Oh, I would hope so. It's coming out at the same time as the Ghost of Tsushima though.
The Ghost of Tsushima. I really want a PS4 for that game. Sounds
Yeah,
really
I'm
fucking.
definitely getting that. That looks
Man,
sick.
fucked up, man. I really
At
want it.
least you get Paper Mario.
I'll trade. Fuck Paper Mario. He's been in my ass for too long. I want some Japanese pussy.
Luigi's Mansion.
Um, no. I mean, I've never played them, and they're pretty good games and all, but just
I'm getting it when I get a Switch. I love Luigi's Mansion. I heard the third one is good. It's a fun game to play with the friends and the family.
you're a fun game.
Um, see what else we got here. Um, I have some real news
Oh yeah, some good news in these
from
troubling times.
it's about the Hong Kong protest stuff.
Oh, is it finally they're trying to stop being mean to the Hong Kong people? Like,
So basically, what happened was uh, during the like quarantine and stuff,
uh huh.
the Chinese government uh, basically used it to take out a lot of like the protesters and a lot of the anti-government stuff, and then basically did sort of like a coup and took over Hong Kong. So now China officially owns it.
Wait, China just basically took Hong Kong?
Pretty much during like the whole quarantine.
You
And
know,
I guess like the protesters are getting time, like they're all gonna get like a certain amount of time in prison after that.
yeah, you know how China is. What's it called? In 1997, the British broke away from Hong Kong, right? And they made a deal with China. And the deal was that China can't touch Hong Kong until 2047, I believe. And I guess China said fuck you and did it in 2020.
Ah,
Because I did a little bit of research, and the British and the Chinese had an agreement that Hong Kong would just, just be its own thing and chill. Everyone's having a good time, but China was like, about that. I want you, and I must have you, and they took you. It's rude.
so I'm reading more into it, and it says between last June and May 29th this year, the police has arrested 8,981 people aged between 11 and 84. 1,749 have been charged. Only 100 have been convicted, though, which is, I guess, that's good. 13 have been jailed for 7 days and 4 years.
4 years just for protesting? Jesus. It must be like intense, like throwing rocks to cops or something.
Yeah, 22-year-old lifeguard uh, got 4 years in jail for the protests and shit and all that.
That ain't right.
That's pretty crazy.
I hate the idea of just putting an animal or putting a human in a cage. It's just that, like, that person or animal has so much energy, and you're just putting them in a small space and they can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, I have a quote from somebody, Kitty Fung, a 17-year-old student, who said, "We've struggled for so long, but I feel like we've achieved nothing."
Yeah, because China's
So they
bigger.
basically lost. Mentally, a lot of them have like kind of given up, which is kind of sad. But
Yeah, the thing is, China's too big for them. They can't take it on, and everyone's trying to, fight for the right for Hong Kong to be its own thing. But I guess China doesn't care about everyone else.
yeah, and they use like a virus to take over, take advantage of it.
Not gonna lie, it's pretty smart, but it's also pretty cunty.
Yeah, it's definitely a dick move.
So lately, I've been watching a lot of cat videos on like cat behavior and like how to get cats to like you. And since I have two kittens who are basically growing up, and I'm interacting with them, and they're just exploring the whole world, and it's just extraordinary. Like I always wanted like to go in their mind and see what's going on in their head.
Want to be a cat therapist?
I want to be a cat myself. God damn it.
That would be pretty cool. Get food, get to sleep all day.
That's me. I'm basically lazy. I just get up for food
The last
or to
time
go to the
I don't even
bathroom.
get a hey, I'm on my way. Nope, I'm just outside, like a little bitch eating. And then they get mad at me when they're sitting there fucking waiting.
Cute kitty cat genjutsu. Telling you. These two kittens are so soft. We bathe them every week, and their fur just gets softer and softer. They love it. We love it. It's great.
Do you bathe your cats at all?
I don't, but my roommates do. And they don't mind it because they're soft and, yeah.
No. I always was like worried to give them baths because they have like little noses. I don't want their nose to get like clogged with water.
Yeah, true.
They suffocate and die.
Aww, poor little kitty cat. Water in his lungs. Aww. But I guess it's
Um,
fine. I mean, like cats lick themselves to clean themselves either way, so it's. I would always let them do their own thing unless like they get dropped in a puddle of mud or something. I just like fill up my kitchen sink with Dawn and some warm water and bathe them real quick or something. Like that Dawn soap is like meant to get everything out. Like they use it on ducks that it gets stuck in oil fields. It's crazy.
yeah, unless like the cat's like fucking really fucking dirty, I wouldn't take the time to wash them. They usually do a good job themselves, I think.
True. They don't wash the big one. They just wash the small ones, and I haven't seen them do it in like a month or so. But they smell nice all the time, so I don't know.
Hmm. Maybe they don't clean themselves as much when they're kittens.
Well, I see them kind of do it, but not as much. Right now, like the only thing that's probably going through their head is just like they eat, and then like any subtle noise, they just get curious and like. There's other cats that hop into our balcony and stare at those cats, and like this morning, well, this one cat that likes the older cat, the bowler cat I was talking about, he hissed at the smaller one because like male territorialism for like male cats and shit. They spray, they own the place and shit like that.
Hmm. How long have we been going for?
About like 35 minutes.
Hmm. All right. I guess we'll go 10 more minutes.
Yeah, we can do that.
What about dogs? So you want to get a dog?
To be honest with you, like if I were to live in an apartment, I'd get like a small dog, cause like having a big dog in like a small place, they have so much energy and they need to have a big place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or at least like a place with a backyard.
Yeah, because like that dog can just it could go on for miles and miles, and probably longer than me.
Yeah, I don't really have the time for like to be playing around with the dog all the time. That's the only problem.
That's why I like
If
cats.
I
They do their own
if I
thing.
only worked like 3 days a week, I would get a dog.
Yeah, I'd get like a small dog, like a pug or maybe a corgi, a chihuahua. Nah, not really, but eh.
So what do you think of the H3H3 versus Keemstar thing?
Oh, that's a good topic. Very good topic.
It's a little old, but
I'm guessing you watched all three videos, right?
yeah.
Masterpiece. That was good. I'm definitely with H3H3. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like the dark humor side of Drama Alert, and I like the way he runs his show. And he seems cool, but he's also a cunt. So I mean,
Yeah. I think in a way they're kind of both in the wrong. Like they're both kind of hypocritical because
yeah, like any YouTube
H3 has
drama
done
that
some
goes on
things.
is like they're throwing the same shit at each other back and forth, and I mean, to be honest, it gets you publicity, and I guess like any bad criticism is good criticism. So either way, they get paid.
Mm. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're gonna necessarily be getting paid because of the whole sponsored things that like they've been losing
Oh
sponsors because of
yeah,
it.
yeah. Drama Alert lost what's his G Fuel, right?
No, that was Keemstar, but I think Drama, yeah, Drama, fuck, yeah, yeah. Drama Alert lost G Fuel, and then H3H3 lost Adam and Eve, I believe.
Adam and Eve. What's that?
Yeah, Adam and Eve is an adult toy website.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
I didn't
for
even
like,
know they
couples.
sponsored that. Like,
Yeah, I think they recently got that sponsor actually too.
huh? It must have been like in the description because they can't say it because they want like kids to watch your show so they get views and shit, and YouTube doesn't demonetize them and shit.
Well, Adam and Eve doesn't sponsor every like episode of their podcast.
So that's how sponsoring works. Because I have no idea. I know they just pay you for the content, but
Well, they can sponsor like a video and like based on the watch time, you can get more money. I'm not entirely sure how the whole process works and how the money is received and all that, but if you have a sponsor on your video, you like dedicate a certain amount of time in the video to that company, and then you basically get paid for it.
neat. Because I thought it was every episode they would pay you for, and you can basically live off of that. And then plus the views you get from YouTube with Google. Oh, and then if you put it on more social media, then it just explodes.
Um, it's usually Patreon now that's getting people money because with like Google's been like really cracking down on how they've been paying out people and stuff.
You get one pent per video.
And with stuff like the whole HGH thing and the Keemstar stuff is it's gonna have advertisers probably look at YouTubers a little bit differently now.
Yeah, because instead of doing what the brand tells them, they just do what they want because it's their platform, and then they say things that the brand doesn't want to be recognized with, and I could see that.
I know this guy already, like a few years ago, fucked up a lot of advertisements, especially for like kid channels, because he was like saying like a lot of child pornography people go over there and go into the comments and like put timestamps on like times where it doesn't really look right. It's not the child's not in the best like position, I guess you could say. But like the video's not about that. It's not like an inappropriate video. It's just that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But because of that, now child channels can no longer uh, have advertisements on them. Any family friendly channel.
You ever see those YouTube channels where it's like a family channel, but the family just uses the kids to get the views on YouTube? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Ace Family and shit.
Yeah, those are kind of. What do you think of those?
I think that's pretty fucking crazy that like people would. I mean, I guess it's not like unheard of, but it's just weird that people would do that, and that people can get away with that for so long. They still get away with that.
Yeah, I find it kind of like a little scummy just because. Well, like if that child doesn't want to be on camera and like if he gets bullied over the internet, that's gonna like mess the kid up. That's what I think. Like, I mean, sure he can be on camera if he wants to, but like at a certain point, I feel like he's being forced on camera.
Yeah, and then like they probably like wave the money in their face and shit too, or like buy them something like just for being on the camera. They're like, here you go. They're like a tool more than a child.
That's pretty fucked up. Do you want to say you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, this has been the first episode of our podcast. We don't even have a name for it, but I guess we'll figure that out in the next episode.
Yep.
Hope you guys will stay tuned.
All right. See you.
Later.